So hello guys, this is TheManBearPigify here once again, back at you with another video. And in this video I'm gonna be doing something I haven't done in quite some time, which is make another gun review. This time it's gonna be about the VSS Vintorez. The VSS Vintorez, VSS standing for, and excuse my Russian here, Vintovska Sniperskaya Specialnaya, meaning special sniper rifle, also called the Vintorez, meaning thread cutter, was developed in the 1980s by a name which I can't pronounce. It'll be on the screen, and manufactured by Tula Arsenal. In real life, the VSS Vintorez has a suppressor on the muzzle of the weapon, as can be seen in game as well, and it is what causes its muffled in-game sound. Now, the VSS Vintorez is a fully automatic sniper rifle, which sets it apart from a lot of other sniper rifles available for your recon class, such as the L96 and M98B. Now, the VSS Vintorez is not a weapon that is actually meant for long-range sniping. It's rather meant for some aggressive CQC sniping. Now, in this gameplay, I will have multiple segments. Now, as you can see right now, this gameplay is without any attachments, which is signified by the red dot with a cross through it, as you can see at the left side of the screen. At whichever point, if you see this red dot with a cross to it, you will know that the gameplay is without any attachments. And if you see the red dot without the X through it, you will know that the gameplay that you're watching is with attachments. The gameplay that will consist with attachments will have the following attachments. It will have the stabilized stock, Viper Max, and precision barrel with varying scopes, meaning that I will be using the stabilized stock, Viper Max, and precision barrel throughout the video. However, the scope will be different. Now, with all this out of the way, I will tell you how I'll do the gun review. First, I will tell you something about the weapon and the stats of the weapon, and tell you my opinion about the stats. After that, I'll tell you my personal opinion about the weapon, and tell you what I think of the weapon and how it should be used, along with some attachment recommendations. Now, the VSS Vintorez is a high damage assault rifle, if it would be an assault rifle, but it is a pretty low damage sniper rifle, meaning that if you compare it to something like an M4A1 or a let's say Scar L, the VSS actually deals a pretty good amount of damage. But when you compare it to something like an L96 or an M95 or maybe an SVD, it doesn't do as much damage as it would. But then again, the VSS Vintorez is a fully automatic sniper rifle. Now, I will tell you the damage stats right off the bat, along with the range stats. The close range ranges from 0 to 15 meters, at which you will do 23 to 27 damage at close range for a body shot, and 48 to 57 damage for a headshot. At 15 to 30 meters, you'll do around 18 to 22 damage for a body shot, and 38 to 46 damage for a headshot. And at long range, which is from 30 to infinite amount of meters, you will do around 16 to 20 damage for a body shot, and 34 to 42 damage for a headshot. However, something interesting is going on with the VSS Vintorez, because when you apply it with when you use it with Viper Max, the damage actually gets pretty weird. At close range, you will do the same amount of damage that you would do over longer ranges, meaning that at medium range, you would be able to get a 5-shot kill on 100 HP targets, but at long range, you wouldn't. Let me tell you the damage stats that go along with it, so you get a better picture of what I mean. With Viper Max at close range, it does 26 to 30 damage, which results in a 4-shot kill on 100 HP enemies. At medium range, it does around 23 to 27 damage for a body shot. However, at longer ranges, the VSS Vintorez does 26 to 30 damage for a body shot, which is exactly the same as the CQC damage, which is pretty funky for a sniper rifle like this, meaning that you can better use this weapon at close range or at long range. However, at medium range, you will do less damage than you would do at longer ranges, which seems a bit odd to me. However, this makes the SVA pretty good for those kind of long range to close range engagements, because a lot of engagements that you actually do, which seem like they are medium range, are actually not medium range, because they are most of the time, you know, just outside that 30 meter and that 30 meter mark. So you can do a massive amount of damage with this particular sniper rifle. Now, the VSS, as I said, is a fully automatic sniper rifle, which means it doesn't just fire one shot at a time like an SVD would, or you know, you have to pull the bolt for every shot. It fires just like any ordinary assault rifle would, meaning that it fires fully automatic. Now the rate of fire of the weapon is actually surprisingly fast. It fires at 620 rounds per minute, which is almost exactly the same as a lot of the assault rifles, which is a lot higher than the SVUA, which is the equivalent of the VSS on the recon class. With equivalent, I don't mean it's the same, but just like the VSS, the SVUA is also fully automatic, which means that the VSS Vintorez has a bit of an edge over the SVUA in the rate of fire department. Now the ammo count of the VSS Vintorez is actually pretty good. It boasts a 24 round mag with 3 mags to spare, giving you 72 bullets in total. However, these bullets with the combined rate of fire do go away quite fast, so I do recommend maybe getting something like extra mags or a casket mags to buff up your ammo count, because running out of ammo with this weapon is not nice, because you can get on some pretty good sprees with this weapon, because in fact you're a recon and you can be unseen by the radar if you use the combat infiltration skill. Now the reload time of this weapon, as you can see here, is around 4.1 seconds. Now this is a standard amount of reload time. A lot of assault rifles also reload like this, and I'm saying assault rifle a lot because this particular sniper rifle kinda looks like an assault rifle, feels like an assault rifle, and also plays like one. And this is depending on which kind of attachment you use. If you saw at the beginning of the video where I use it without any attachments, the weapon is not good at all. I find that I have a really hard time hitting targets at close range and at medium range because of the high upwards recoil. Speaking of recoil, as I said, the recoil is pretty difficult to manage with the scope attached to the weapon, which comes default, and with the actual recoil of the weapon without any stock. The weapon has a heavy upwards pull, and then actually just, you know, kind of goes random with the deviation, meaning that it will be pretty hard to hit anything with the default scope attached to the weapon, and to actually, you know, try to get some really nice shots over at longer ranges as well. Speaking of the damage as well, at close range, you do not do a lot of damage with the VSS Vintorez without any attachments, so I really recommend you use some damage buffing attachments along with the ammo buffing attachments. Let's see, as I said, the deviation on the weapon it's not a lot. However, it can get out of hand if you keep spraying it for too long. It is lower than the SVUA, however, but one thing is that the VSS Vintorez has horrible hip fire. The SVUA has way better hip fire than the VSS Vintorez does, so keep that in mind. And as well, you do not have a you know, crosshair when you're not aiming. That can make it a lot harder to actually hit your target, especially with the deviation that the VSS has when not zoomed in. Speaking of the scope of the weapon, the scope of the weapon is pretty nice, depending on your preferences. I actually like the design of the scope, since I like the design of the SQ98 scope. It's a chevron style scope with the triangles. The magnification of the scope is 2.43, which is a bit higher than the SVUA standard scope. However, I wouldn't really recommend using the default scope on the SVUA, since using a lower optic on this weapon would be way better, because it actually reduces the recoil. Not actually reduce, but it makes the recoil appear less significant than it is when you're using a high optic zoom. Now if you clicked on the summary button at the beginning of the video, you will be taken to this part of the video where I will do the final verdict of the weapon and give you my final opinion on the weapon with some recommendations as well. Now I give the VSS Vintorez a 7.5 out of 10 rating. Now I do this because the VSS Vintorez would have gotten a 9 out of 10 rating if it wasn't for the horrible performance without any attachments. This weapon is a perfect example of how a weapon can turn into a complete beast when used with attachments, but can suck really bad when you're using it without any attachments. Attachments I would recommend for this weapon would be stabilized stock, Viper Max, and precision barrel, along with a scope of your choice. I would recommend you use a red dot, which is my preference for this weapon. However, using a hollow sight can be really effective as well, because it has around the same zoom as the red dot does. You can also use the PSO SVD sights, but keep in mind those sights are misaligned, so you will have a harder time trying to hit your target over longer ranges. However, if you stick to close range engagement, you should be fine with the PSO sight as well. how I recommend you use the weapon. I recommend you use the weapon at a CQC environment, meaning that I wouldn't go trying to get some 200+ meter headshots with the VSS Vintorez. I would rather try to play on a map like Sharky Assault or Sharky Rush, Basra Rush or Basra Assaults, you name it, but just try to stick to those close range engagement and you should be fine with this weapon, because it actually can kill pretty fast in those CQC moments. There's not a lot of else thing. There's not a lot of other things to say about this weapon. I really enjoy using this weapon, especially with a dual booster. When combined with a bolt action, it can make this gun really deadly. I hope you guys enjoyed this gun review. If you got any more gun reviews that you want me to do, leave them down in the comment section below. For now guys, this has been TheManBearPigify, and I'm out.